The story of the $200,000 mistake left in a taxi. It all began on a dusty Tuesday afternoon in Cairo. The heat shimmered off the streets as Mahmoud, a 53-year-old taxi driver, navigated the chaos of traffic. For years, he had driven the same beat-up yellow taxi, weaving between honking cars and dodging carts pulled by donkeys. His life was simple: modest income, small apartment, and endless hours behind the wheel. Mahmoud had no dreams of luxury. He just wanted enough to pay for his daughter's college tuition and his wife's medication. Cairo was a city of history, but for him, it was only a backdrop to survival. That day, however, fate decided to rewrite his story. A tourist couple flagged him down near the Egyptian Museum. They seemed hurried, a bit stressed. They threw their bags in the back, gave him an address near Giza, and whispered urgently to each other in a language Mahmoud didn't recognize. He drove them silently as they stared anxiously out the windows. When they arrived, the couple paid quickly and rushed off, leaving behind one of their bags in the back seat. Mahmoud shouted after them, but the crowded street swallowed his voice. He waited for 20 minutes hoping they'd come back, but they never did. He debated taking the bag to the police, but curiosity got the better of him. That night, in his tiny kitchen, he unzipped it carefully. Inside were old clothes, dusty papers, and something heavy wrapped in cloth. His heart skipped as he unwrapped it. It was a golden artifact, small but detailed. A falcon-shaped pendant with tiny hieroglyphs. Mahmoud didn't recognize its full value, but he knew it wasn't just costume jewelry. He placed it in a drawer and decided to visit an antiques appraiser the next day. The appraiser's eyes widened the moment he saw it. "Where did you get this?" the man asked, nearly dropping his magnifying glass. Mahmoud explained honestly, not mentioning the couple, just that it was left in his cab. The expert's hands trembled. "This is ancient, maybe from the 18th dynasty, possibly even worn by royalty," he whispered. "It could be worth a fortune." Mahmoud stared at him, stunned. All his years of hard work, and now this, left accidentally in his car. The appraiser contacted the Ministry of Antiquities. Within days, Mahmoud was swarmed with officials and historians. They confirmed its authenticity. It had likely been stolen, sold on the black market, and somehow ended up back in Egypt. But since Mahmoud didn't steal it and came forward, he wasn't in trouble. Instead, he was rewarded. The government granted him a finder's fee for returning a national treasure. Not just a small thank you, a life-changing sum, $200,000. And that wasn't all. A private museum in Dubai offered to pay even more if the government allowed them to display it on loan. Mahmoud suddenly found himself in news interviews, smiling awkwardly with his dusty taxi behind him. His story spread across the Arab world. The honest taxi driver who found gold. Everyone loved him. He used the money first to pay for his daughter's full university education. Then he renovated their home, bought a better car, and started a small transport company. No longer stuck in Cairo's traffic for hours, Mahmoud had time to rest and dream. But the most surprising part? A year later, the same couple who had left the bag contacted him. They had been arrested in Europe for smuggling and found out that their lost bag made Mahmoud rich. From prison, they wrote him a letter. They apologized, not for their crime, but for being careless. Mahmoud never replied. He had moved on. The past was the past, and his future no longer depended on other people's mistakes. He gave talks at schools, encouraging youth to live with honesty. You never know when life will test you, he would say, and it always rewards those who pass the test. Mahmoud still drives sometimes, not for money, but for memories. Every time someone gets in his new luxury van, they ask, "Are you that taxi driver from the news?" He just smiles and says, "Maybe. Want to hear the story?"